There's only three parts to any business. It's true for a law firm. It's true for a gas company. All right, you have operations, you have admin and systems, and then you have the biz dev and the marketing. So the operations is the product service you sell, and this is the thing that we put a lot of time and attention on because it's got to be excellent, all the T's crossed and the I's dotted. Okay, we know that we have to have the admin and the systems, the Wi-Fi, the payroll, the taxes, all of that. That's what makes the work possible, the fantastic work possible. And then, of course, we have the biz dev and the marketing, and that is going out and finding customers, engaging with the market. Makes sense. It's just true for every business. It's a little oversimplified, but you get the idea. All right. What we've noticed is that C-suite founders, that sort, who are running business in America right now, they are facing some realities that cause some anxiety and resentment, a little bit of resentment. I'm going to explain why resentment in a second. 2025 is cresting us into the mid-century years of this century. So when I hear the word mid-century, I always think 1940s to 1970s, right? No, we're now moved well into the 21st century, and there's some new realities that are facing businesses, in particular how we communicate with the market, okay? The old way was you put an ad in the newspaper, you sponsored a Little League team, you had great billboards, maybe you did some radio spots, or you put an ad like a full spread in Texas Monthly. That's the old way. We know that and by the way, all of those avenues are still completely appropriate depending on who you're talking to and what it is you're trying to do in the market. But then there was the shift about 20 years ago into digital, and ad buy and SEO and key terms and all of that geofencing. That was the play of the last 20 years. We're shifting. I'm telling you that there's new things on the horizon, and that new thing is content creation. We're all content creators now. That probably causes a lot of people's stomachs to drop because it's hard. It's one of the hardest things in the world to do. It's expensive. It takes a lot of time. There's risk involved. There's a lot of technical know-how. You have to know how images and words and colors and tone and the copy match. It touches on our egos and our identities. You have to understand big concepts and themes and the strategy and how to deploy it and how to put together the media, building it with the technical know-how, deploying it in a marketing strategy. It's no joke. You're going to have to A/B test it. You're going to have to augment. So this is intimidating. It's a little, I think it creates some fear and some anxiety. And I think when you realize that what it takes matched to that's the only thing that powers marketing forward anymore, that's where resentment happens. Is I got into this business because I cared about whatever my business is, about making this or about serving this client base in this way. Well, content creation is it has its own set of new demands, and that's why people are really frustrated. How hard is it? I just watched a video a while ago by a guy named Darren Doan, and ever since I saw the video, I was like, yep, he's absolutely right. He basically says content creation is harder than drilling for oil. And he's right, because you spread out a sheet and it says oil is here 1,000 feet down, and then even though it takes a lot of brain power and brawn, dragging pipe and chain out and drilling a hole straight down, pumping the oil out, putting it on a truck and getting it away from you, that's a fairly simple process. It's hard, it's grueling, but you know what you're doing. Content creation is kind of the opposite of that. I'm not sure exactly where the oil is. We're going to need to figure it out. We're going to have to build the great stuff that actually moves audience. We're going to have to deploy it, and we need to deploy it in these ways with this kind of budget management, and it needs to perform in these ways, these metrics. That's how we're going to hold it accountable. It's crazy difficult. It's very complicated, and it will wear a guy out and make a guy cry. All right, so it's expensive, it's risky, and unavoidable, and that's the thing that actually makes people resent the fact that this is where we are. But it's where we are. And so you can sort of kick and scream about it, or you can say, well, we have to do this. This is what it takes to market, which is, remember, a third of what it is that we do. For the marketing to work and the BD to work, we have to do it. So that leaves you with two options. You can either build your own creative agency in-house, and we've seen people do that. That comes with its own set of problems. You're managing people, and it means that your the number of chairs around your Christmas table banquet, that increases, and health insurance and all that sort of thing. Or you can partner with a creative agency, which is your other option, to build great content that actually moves the needle for your business. We've been doing this for about 9 years now, and we're really acquainted with how difficult it is to actually move toward that unified goal and produce something that's amazing that actually does push the marketing forward. So if you want to talk about that, we can definitely talk. We'd love to do that. But I just want to basically say you're going to have to acknowledge the resentment is there. And the best way to get past it is to say we're into a new epoch, basically. We're crested a horizon, and now content creation is just the rule of the day. So I'm out here, I'm out here talking at a camera. I most of the time want to just go work on the part of the business I work on, but I feel it the same way you do. This is the new reality. So I wish I had better, more encouraging news, but it's just the way it is. If you wanted to put a positive spin on it, I would say it's like this. Recognize the reality early, hard commit to do it well, watch the results perform, and that sort of takes the sting out of it a little bit, okay? It's a big, exciting new world that we're facing out there. So take care.